Welcome to part 3 of Competency 4. In this video, we will apply operations to polynomials. Number 1, simplify the expression 2n squared plus 3n minus 5 plus, in parentheses, negative n squared plus 2n plus 1. Okay, well, you just combine like terms, okay? So let's begin by doing that. Okay, we need to add 2n squared to minus 1n squared. So that just equals n squared. Now we can come over here to the ABCD options, and I see 2 that we can mark out. Now, the next thing is we have 3n plus 2n. Well, that's plus 5n. And because that is a plus, okay, we can get rid of B. I'm going to say C is it. And then when we take negative 5 plus 1, of course, we get negative 4, which verifies. Okay. All right, let's go. Let's move this up. And then we can go, well, if I keep, there it is. And let's talk about 2 and 3. All right, number 2, simplify the expression. Okay, this is all well and good, but this is different. Because of this negative in front of the parentheses, everything has to change its sign. Okay? Well, this means that first we have a negative x to the third. Okay? And I went ahead and wrote that down because if you look over here, in the first set of parentheses here, there is no x to the third power. That being said, I need a negative x to the third. Well, I only have one of those as an option, which is C. Okay. Well, now let's look at our x squared. Well, I have 3, and then this is minus 2. This is plus 5, and this is minus. So I have 3 minus 2. Well, that is just plus x squared. Do we have that in C? Yes, we do. Okay, so I did. Now we need to go to, we did the x squared. Now we need to do 2x plus 5x is plus 7. Oops, I'm writing the wrong thing. And that doesn't look like a plus. So now we have plus 7x, and that checks. So now we need to take 4 minus 8. Well, that's going to give us a minus 12. So C is verified. All right, now let's look at number 3. All right, simplify the expression. Oh, this is all multiplication. X squared times, because parentheses multiplication, correct? And then times xy times 3 times 4x squared times negative 3xy squared. Okay, how I handle that is how this type of thing is I look at my coefficients, my numeric coefficients first. So I add all those. Oops, didn't intend. I'm not sure how that happened. Okay, so what I do is I look at each of those and I multiply those first. And then I look at my ABCD options. Okay, should be pretty straightforward. So 3 times the 4 times the negative 3. Okay. That gives us negative 36. That is our coefficient. So I don't see those on all of them. All I see is A. So let's get rid of all of those. Okay, now let's see. There's an x squared. We have to add all of the exponents for the x's. So that's a 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that would be x to the 6. Yes, I believe that. Now let's add up all of the y's. So we have 1 here, and 2, 3. And then we have y to the third. So I would agree with option A. All right, let's go to number 4. Number 4, simplify the expression 4a squared b times 3a plus 2b squared. Okay, well, let's go ahead and begin by looking at when we distribute each of the coefficients. Okay, first we will have 12 and then a squared times a is a to the third, and then b just kind of tags along because we don't have another b to multiply to. Okay, now let's go look and see what options don't have that 12 3ba. Well, b and c don't even have the 12 coefficient. And D does, A doesn't. So I'm going to say D's what we want and A is not what we want. But let's follow through. And I do believe we're correct because A has the second part the same. Okay, so when we distribute into the next term, we have 4 times 2 is 8. So that's our positive 8. That works. And A times nothing over here is simply the a squared. And then the a, oh no, b times b squared. That's 1b, 1, 2, 3 b's. So that's verified. So D is the option we want. All right, now let's look at number 5. Simplify the expression 3n squared plus 2mn minus 1 all times n plus m. Okay, we can go through and FOIL each one by multiplying each term. And I'm thinking that's probably a good idea and just write them all out. There are other methods you could use, but in this situation, probably might get kind of confusing. So I'm going to do this a little backwards, okay? All right, so we're going to say n. We're going to take n, and then we're going to take n to the first term, okay? And that gives us 3 n to the third. Then I'm going to take n to the middle term, okay? And that's 2. I'm going to move the n squared first and then m on the end, okay? All right, now, then I take it to the negative 1. So that would be negative n. Okay, change colors. Now let's go through this process with the m. So m here gives me plus 3 n squared, and there's my m. Okay, and then let's take it to the middle term. And that is plus, yeah, let's see. I'll move over here and we can simplify all this as we go. So then I have plus 2m squared n. And now let's take it to the last term, and that's minus m. Oh, goodness. Well, what I have written down, we need to translate that into an A, B, C, D option, okay? The first thing I'm going to look at is the minus n and the minus m, okay? Here and here. There are no other like terms to combine those with, so we must have them, let's say, at the end for proper writing purposes, probably. We should have minus n and minus m. Well, notice that C and D do not have that, okay? So then I'm going to look at the beginning part. 3n squared. Check and check on A and B. We did that. So we have 3n, I'm not squared, I'm sorry, to the third. 3n to the third. I misspoke. Okay, now let's see what we can. I see a like term situation right here. Okay. Those need to be added. So I see plus 5n squared m. Okay. So I've written this one out and those two. Okay. Well, that eliminates A, but let's keep going just in case. Well, these others, we can't combine them with any other terms. We have 2m squared n minus n minus m. And that is exactly what we have for option B. Okay, let's look at number 6. Simplify the expression. Okay, for this one, we need to, this expression is 8x to the fourth y squared divided by 2x squared y. We need to divide and go through the process. So I'm going to go ahead and move this over here. I'm going to say 2x squared y. For this, we go through that subtraction, okay, with fractions and exponents, but we're dividing. So 8 divided by 2 is 4. Well, we only have one option that says 4. First, we divide those, and the whole thing should look like this. 8 divided by 2 times x to the 4 minus 2, then y to the second minus 1. Remember, all we have an understood one exponent on every whole number. Okay, so now let's match it. Well, that works out. We get 4, and then we get x squared, and then we get y to the first, which is just y. And there you go. All right, let's look at number 7. Okay, simplify the expression 10n to the third plus 5n squared minus 25n. And all of that is divided by 5n because of the parentheses. So what do? That means each item, each term is divided by 5n. Okay, oops, I forgot the 5 there. Each one. Okay, which simplifies matters for us, okay? So we know that 10 divided by 5 is 2. Just looking at this, we have option D. So we have 2, and that would be 3 minus 1 is 2. And then this is 1. And 2 minus 1 is 1. So that's just n. And we have negative 25 divided by 5 is negative 5. And n divided by n, which is 1 minus 1. So that's just 1. Okay. Which would be n to the 0, which is 1. Okay, so D's verified. Okay, that's just a matter of knowing your properties. Okay, now we have a little bit different situation going on here. What is the quotient and remainder of? And then they give you the expression 4a squared plus 6a plus 3, and you have to divide the whole thing by 2a plus 1. Okay, this is old-fashioned long division. If you are not familiar with this, I recommend you go and look at some videos and figure it out. It's not tough. You may just not remember learning it. You know, it just depends on what route you took in high school, okay? So what do? We have to write 2a plus 1, and then set up your division. Here, I can do better with that. It's a little bit. too high because we need to write above it. Okay, then inside you write, this would be your numerator, the first expression. Whatever, we just need to set it up correctly. Okay, plus 6a plus the 3. Now, always make sure that you're not like missing an exponent. So we have 2, 1, and none. So we know that we're okay with that. So the name of the game is to take this first term, 2a, and figure out whatever you multiply that by, you need to get exactly 4a squared. Well, if I multiplied that by 2a, I would have 2 times 2 is 4, and a times a is a squared. Then I need to multiply my 2a times 1, which is plus 2a. The only thing is this is different, a bit different from traditional long division, because you need to put a parentheses around all of this, and we're using a subtraction, and then bring down the plus 3. So 4a squared minus 4a squared is obviously 0. Then 6a minus 2a is 4a. Now I need to say, okay, what do I multiply 2a by to get 4a? Well, that is plus 2, a positive 2. So 2 times 2 is 4, and then there's the a, and then 2 times 1, that gives me a plus 2. Now I put it all in parentheses and say minus, okay? Well, 4a minus 4a is 0. And 3 minus 2 is 1. That is my remainder. So I know to mark these out because they have a remainder of 2. And then looks like option B is what I need. Yes. Okay. All right, let's look at number 9. What is the quotient and remainder of? And they set up the same thing, it just looks different. Instead of being the sentence form of division, they made it a fraction form. It doesn't matter, we're fine. But I'm a little suspicious, and I'll tell you why. Because see, I see a plus 3 in the denominator, and then I see a 6 in the numerator. I want to do something first and see if it works, because I'm super suspicious that this numerator can be factored and that one of the factors will be the same as the denominator. Bear with me. I have a, and I know I needed 2 and 3. Oh, yeah, that works. Plus, yep, that factored out. And if we try to FOIL it, we get 2a plus 2a plus 3a. Yep, it works. And look at what we have here. These two cancel, and I would say that we have a remainder of 0, and our quotient is a plus 2. Okay? And I would say that that is option D. Well, okay, maybe you believe me, maybe you don't. Well, let's try long division. A plus 3, set this up, and a squared plus 5a plus 6. Okay, well, to get a squared, I just use a. A times a is a squared. A times 3 is plus 3a. All right, let's go ahead and make my line. That is an a. Use my parentheses. bring down my 6. I need to subtract. So a squared minus a squared is 0. However, 5a minus 3a is 2a. Now, I need to multiply the a times plus 2, and 2 times a is 2a, and 2 times 3 is 6. And when we subtract, we get 0. Therefore, number 9 is verified, or rather, option D is verified. Okay, thanks, guys, for watching. Again, I always have to say it. Thank you for sharing and liking and subscribing. You don't know how wonderful that is. Happy testing.